Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm going to do a reading to begin. So I'm going to ask you to posture yourself. I'm going to have you use your block behind your back so it supports. So think of it as lining up right behind your sternum. You want the block in its lengthwise position behind your back where you can lean into it. So it's going to provide you with some support for a heart opening, sometimes referred to on the other side, back bend, and just lean back into it. So scoot your pelvis back so you can accommodate that. So you can lean into that block and allow yourself into this heart opening space. Get your upper arms real close to your side body. And I want you to have hands down on your thighs so that you can get a sense of grounding, that you're kind of putting some pressure, just a little bit of compression into your thighs. And you're just feeling the grounding of your legs and down through the length of your legs into the feet. So you can still, feel like you're really connecting yourself to Mother Earth. So again, elbows close to the side body, kind of leaning back into that block and feeling the resultant heart opening position. So I'm starting with a reading I've used as I've taught for all these years. I come back to it, once or twice a year for sure, because it's just always says the words I want to say. It says it well. I so admire Cyndi Lee, the writer of this book and of these words. She was a teacher I actually got a chance to meet, and I've always really appreciated that opportunity and that experience. And she speaks to daily practice, which some of you I've shared this with, that I was hesitant when I first started teaching yoga. That seemed like such a stretch, oh my, I couldn't possibly ask people to do a daily yoga practice. That who does that? Oh boy, that just goes to show where I began my own journey of understanding the benefits and blessings of those kinds of things. So I readily say it now. It's a part of my focus personally and also in my classes. So here's her write-up about daily yoga practice. Yoga invites us to harmonize our body, breath, and mind as a way to experience wakefulness and compassion in our daily lives. The path of yoga involves physical exercises that enhance our cardiovascular system, strengthen our muscles, improve our digestive activity, and cleanse our entire body. It also includes breathing exercises that soothe our nervous system and meditation that develops mental clarity. The combination of these three aspects results in a sense of well-being, confidence, open-heartedness, and patience. So when we practice yoga, what we are really practicing is how to live a richer, more vivid, more connected life. Even though yoga is primarily a physical activity, the reason it enhances our entire life and even the lives of those around us is because of the mindfulness with which we approach our yoga program. Most of us are task-oriented and understand how to begin and complete a job, but yoga is never finished. It is always about the process, not the product. Each day is a fresh start. Yoga teaches us how to pay attention to our changing experiences with curiosity rather than judgment or expectation. This approach generates feelings of warmth and appreciation and a sense that life is manageable. We're not practicing so we can be better people, more fit, happier, although those are common side effects of yoga. We're not trying to advance or to improve, to complete more missions, to gain more recognition, to attract more attention. We're simply practicing how to look at ourselves and our world with wide open eyes and a wide open heart. The healthy, insightful, and tender relationship with ourselves that arises from this daily practice will in turn nourish our relationships with others. So we do our yoga practice every day because every day is different. What we felt yesterday will have shifted today. And when we learn to pay attention, we will discover these physical shifts, openings, discomforts, releases. We will also begin to recognize our emotional and mental patterns, our habits, our cravings, our fears. and to watch how they change in the same way that we watch our tight hips begin to release or our weak abdominals grow strong. Yoga practice is made up of a series of postures called asanas. Asana is sometimes translated as to sit with. Let your daily yoga practice be a time to sit with yourself, to let go of your agenda, to make your own acquaintance. You will find that over time, your yoga practice will not only give you a stronger body, deeper breathing, and a more stabilized and spacious mind, but it will also awaken your senses and open your heart. Anyone can experience this. All that is required is a touch of bravery, a dose of discipline, a lot of curiosity, and of course, a daily practice. She covers it all. That is exactly my mission these days. It's helpful for me to read it and to share it with you because it shows me for myself, how my own practice and understanding has evolved. So let us begin. Time to take the block out from behind you now, so you don't need it behind you anymore. Let's get it on the floor and put our ankles up to it. So we're going to bring ourselves into that posture of alignment with using the block to kind of as a spacer. Come away from the back of the chair so you're not using that backrest for support. Let's begin with a pranayama. So when we're bringing ourselves into the breath awareness, let's do something very particular, a pranayama practice called the Durga breath or three-part breath. Starts low in the belly. It's a three-part inhalation. It rises from the low belly to the diaphragm to the chest, right about where your collarbone is. That's the ascension of your inhale, and the exhale just releases itself. Maybe you could release it from your mouth, breathing out like as if you were blowing a candle. Just a suggestion, but let your exhale be something maybe just easy, feels natural to you. If you're looking for direction, I'll give you that about the candle breath. So let us begin. Take a big breath in that starts low in the belly. It's kind of like you're blowing up a balloon. So you're coming out with the belly. Keep going. Inhale some more in the diaphragm area. Keep inhaling here. Now it's time to exhale completely out of the mouth. In, release. Inhale, in, release. Keep it up. I'm touching my body just so you have an illustration of it. You certainly are welcome to do that, but it's not required of this practice of pranayama. Let's do two more. And let's release our hands now, palms up on the lap. Let's find our breath in and out through the nose if that's comfortable, feeling that in and out. So kind of using that simple mantra, breathing in, breathing out as a way of focusing the mind here and now, and bringing ourselves into the body by way of the breath. As we just start to align and transition into our yoga practice. So it's a change, isn't it? It's a change from what we were doing just a few minutes ago before we decide to sit down and tune in to this yoga class. So we're just going to transition, get our mind and our body in sync, very purposeful, uninterrupted. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. All the way in, all the way out. And my recommendation is just to stay with the words in and out so your mind won't just flutter away and start moving out of the room and into some other thought process. See if you can keep it centered with your in and out mantra. We often use this time to set our own particular intention. So maybe you close your eyes now so that you can really zero in to ask that question of yourselves. What do I need from yoga? What do I desire? How do I want to feel? Again, it's just a good way to get started on the intention. Maybe you've got your own process. Part of the ritual of our transition into the yoga practice today, setting intention. Notice how your breath might give you a clue when you've all settled, like there, I think I've named it, and your body relaxes a little bit. And so it is. Let's flutter the eyes open, get used to that light. Inhale now as we bring palms up and overhead, bring palms together, lift up. Exhale as you bow into your own heart. Inhale back up. Exhale, go all the way around, where you land with your arms and hands right alongside the frame of the chair. Pull back. Keep your head very neutral. So you notice on my head didn't move at all. You're just keeping your head very neutral, but boy, your body's in action. You pull your arms back, you start arching the back body. You're feeling the extension of your spine that we call the cat pose. Now align your feet to the block, feet to the floor, and feel that arch of the back as you breathe in and out. Now you're trying not to scrunch your shoulders up towards your ears. You're trying instead to relax your shoulders down through the back body. So it might be that we start ever so slightly dropping those shoulders, but over time, as we move through these poses, we'll start to see a difference. Extending the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Using your natural breath. Maybe you continue to use the in and the out mantra to keep focused. Let's get our hands in our lap now, round through the back body and find the C-shaped curve of the cat. So it's just the opposite. It's a counter pose to the extension of the spine. Tuck your chin in so you can feel how the roundness includes your neck, the cervical spine. And notice how the breath just settles in. Let's do this as our vinyasa. Inhale up, arch the back. Exhale, round. Inhale up, arch. Exhale, C-shaped curve. So begin your process. You don't have to be in sync with my breath. You're in sync with yours. Take your time. Align your movement to your own breath. Try to exaggerate the movement. Let's do two more. And we're going to land in a neutral position, our mountain pose. Our arms come back to the sides of the chair, palms face forward. Notice how your shoulder blades are rolling back to the back body. Let's extend that left arm out in a T, palm facing up. Turn your head to look that direction. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the block. Feel the breath. Reach out. Get heavy with the other arm. The other arm is trying to create like an anchor or a grounding source. So you want to get heavy with the other arm. And this is about moving, into the range of movement in our neck. So explore that. It doesn't have to be held and just rigidly held waiting for the next move. I want you to explore this and lift, move, breathe. See how you could maybe expand that range of movement. Let's exhale that arm down, palm continues to face forward, and we'll do the other side. Extend out, palm up, thumb pointing back, turning your head. Breathe in, breathe out, feel your feet. Simple enough. Explore the movement here, explore your range, see if there's anything you can do to relax into it, to welcome more movement, more spaciousness. It's a new day. So, what we don't want to do is come into it like, I know what to expect. I know what I do. I want you to feel your way into it today. Let your breath help you. Let's come back to neutral. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls. Hands can be on your lap if you find shoulder rolls a little bit challenging, because it does include the full weight of your arms, which sounds kind of incidental, but it makes a difference. So if you're looking for a modification, put your hands on your lap instead of your arms alongside the chair's frame. Try to find the movement now that you're really aware that this movement of your arms is translating into movement of those shoulder blades in your back. Let's change the direction of that. I want to give you another cue, something a little different. I've been working on the idea of, moving your head by relationship to your ears. So I want you to think about this. When we have our arms extended in a T shape, you can feel and maybe see, depending on your circumstances, that your arms are extended out and they're sort of parallel to the ground, parallel to the floor. I want you to see if you can find a line, like a plumb line, that goes from one ear out the other, that, just invisibly, but in your imagination, you can create that a similar parallel line with your ear, giving you that plumb line reference. So let's try what we did just a moment ago, with the idea now that we're turning our head using that plumb line. So we extend the arm out, and as we turn our head, we've got to keep it, parallel to the floor. Puff up your chest. Make sure your thumb is pointing straight back, and that you feel the weightedness of the other arm. But that you've turned your head, you're very aware that how you're positioning your head has to do with that plumb line through your ears. That's the way you can really keep your head in a neutral position. Kind of helps you really support your neck because of that neutrality and that practice, that discipline, using your ears, don't tilting down or lifting up, but you're very aware that you want your head to be in a particular way. And let's bring it back to neutral. Let's raise that arm straight up and drop the hand between the shoulder blades. And we're going to frame that. Now, can you still feel where that plumb line between your ears has, just kind of relocated through your arms, and you can still feel that your head is very neutral now as you create this framework. Squeeze the block, feel your legs engage. I want you to feel the surface of your feet to the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. To come out of it, it's going to be sort of a backstroke coming all the way down. Find that plumb line. Get heavy now with your left arm, so when the right arm extends, you feel that turning and that you're anchored in with the weightedness of your left arm. Be sure as you extend your right arm, palm is up, thumb points back, and you feel the neutrality of your head supported now by this alignment. We're really aware of how we turn our head, and we're using our ear as reference. Both ears. Breathe in, breathe out. All the way in and then out. As we unwind, we're going to lift up, reach up, drop that hand between your shoulder blades, and we'll frame up. Find the plumb line, deepen the breath. Excellent. Let's come all the way out, all the way out. And individual shoulder rolls, one at a time. Squeeze and release. Squeeze as you inhale, release as you exhale. Try to find that rhythm of breathing. Squeeze as your inhale, release as your exhale. One more time. And here we go. Release all the way. We're going to move our block underneath the chair so it's out of our way a little bit. Take a wider stance, open up wider. Maybe you need to come forward a little bit. Let's start with moving in our circular movement, that circular Sufi roll, Sufi grind, come into the fluidity of our hips and our waistline, side body. Keep your head, neck, and spine in alignment. So don't let your head be wobbling around. It's going to be fairly stationary. Let's move into the half fold. So we're going to come down in the center where our back body is in that diagonal line. Squeeze your elbows in towards your waistline. Push your hands into your thighs like you're trying to keep your legs down. And at the same time, you're efforting to lift your bottom up, the perineum up off the chair. Inhale through the O shape of your mouth. Exhale, soften it all, relax it all. Let's do 3 more of those. Inhale through the O shape, vagal toning here. Exhale, release. Push your hands in. O-shaped mouth. O in inhaling, lifting up the perineum. Exhale, release and soften. We're going to do 2 more. Big breath. Hold it, and soften and release. Come back upright. And then reset the body. So if there's anything your body needs to do now to release any tension that you might have found, let's release that now. We're going to get our hands underneath our thighs. I'm too far back, so scoot forward if you need to as well, that you can get plenty of movement in your legs, but it's in this wide angle. So we're lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. Keep your spine long, so you might have to adjust that. Be aware that we're not going to surrender all that we've done to straighten and strengthen our upward position. So keep that up. And then we're just, in addition, going to get those legs in motion. Get them up, get them up. And go from the wide angle to the more neutral angle where we've got our legs in front of us. And then just walk it, walk it in and out and just explore ways that seem fun and doable for you as we're just waking up the joint and all of the, your psoas muscle here, that deep muscle that is the primary hip flexor muscle, kind of into that. Good. And then both feet to the floor. Let's hold on to the chair now so we can stick the leg out, straighten the leg out. Keep that spine long. Get your elbows in. I've got my elbows almost behind me. I've got plenty of room behind me to hold on to the chair. It's keeping, it really works well. Keep my spine nice and long and strong. Now try kicking twice. So you've got one leg up, you're going to give it 2 kicks. Notice how your breath has changed. Your body might have been warmed up a little bit more. That's our idea. That's kind of the goal here. Let your breath adjust. You just pay attention to it. Let's even it out. Bring both feet to the floor. Take a pause. Keep your arms way back. Just breathe in, breathe out. Feet to the ground. Feel the fullness of your breath. And we're going to practice that crossing over our body energy from left to right, right to left, that kind of thing. So as you extend the leg, let's bring that opposite arm to meet it, opposite hand to meet it. It's kind of big sweep. Keep your gaze at, the meeting of your hand to your toes. That's where you're going to focus your eyes. And when your hand touches the toe or wherever part of your leg you're touching, you're going to come with your awareness to that space. Find your breathing now. Find it. Find the pace that works for you. You might do half as many as what you see in me do. I don't know. I'm just saying you're finding your pace. Let's extend and hold. See if you can get hold of it. I'm holding onto my big toe. Maybe you're going to decide you'll grab the calf. See what you can hold. Breathe. Push through the sole of the foot. Release. Let's get the other side too. Extend. Get a hold of it some way. Push through the sole of your feet. Breathe in and breathe out. Push both feet to the floor. And let's reset the body. What does the body need after all that? I want want you to just start moving your right shoulder, just moving that, rotating that shoulder back, around, back and around. And then once it's loose, go all the way behind you. So you're pressing your back of your hand into the back of your hand. So we're really allowing that to press and move that shoulder blade back. Let's use this as a twist opportunity. So let's bring our legs together like mermaid legs, squeeze them together like mermaid legs. Cross over that left arm right past your thigh and see if you can find yourself a twist. Push into the hand behind you, the back of your hands pressing into the body, wherever it landed. So you're really supporting that shoulder blade to pull back. And now your front shoulder nudges forward. Now here's our trick. Where's that plumb line through the ears? That parallel plumb line is parallel to the floor. So as you're rotating your body in this twist, your head's a part of that. The head is a part of the twisting action. And you're following the guideline of that plumb line. So it's your ears that seem to be directing your movement of your head. Let's deepen the breath now. Let's do a couple full breaths, real deep breaths here. Really settle into the experience in your body by breathing deep, full breaths. We'll unwind the head and then the shoulders and reset your body. Let's keep our legs in their mermaid position so we've got them glued together a little bit. And let's move to the other side. If you're ready, if you're still catching up with your breath, just settle in, just breathe, and you can join us when you're ready. We're just starting with the shoulder rolls to kind of pattern the body. And then we're going to slip that arm behind us, and the back of the hand is pushing into the body. Back, back, back. Let's extend the other arm past the thigh. And we're going to find that plumb line right away. The plumb line through the ears. So as we turn into our twist, press the back hand. Use the leverage of your front hand. Guess what? And I just noticed I'm also using the back of the hand. So it's kind of the same sort of leveraging with both hands and arms. They're just pulling in different directions. Remember the verticality of your spine. So just see if you can feel the uprightness of that. Like, the top of your head is lined up with the tailbone. Just a subtle adjustment. Press the backs of your hands to give you more leverage to let your shoulders respond in a positive way in this revolved position. But you also want to include turning your head using the guideline of your ears. 2 more good breaths now, real strong breaths. Squeeze your legs together and breathe deeply. Exhale completely. Do that one more time. Then we're going to unwind the head and then the shoulders, and we'll reset the body. Let's open the feet a little wider. Once you're ready, let's hold on to the chair. Go way back. I found that to be really useful. Get my hands, instead of right alongside my knees almost, I'm coming back with my hands holding onto the chair. So that's pulling my shoulder blades where I want them to be. I'm going back to the walking, stepping high knees up, lifting high knees up. It kind of resets and gives a nice reset for the low back from what we've been doing. And we're going to go back to the crossovers. Extending the leg and bringing your gaze right to the touching point. Find the rhythm of your breath. You don't have to follow my rhythm. You're following yours. Let's hold it. Grab hold, hold it, bring yourself forward. You can always use your back hand to hold the chair in any way that's useful for you. Breathe in, breathe out. Try to straighten that leg. Try to straighten that leg. Let's release, and we'll go to the other side. Hold it, grab hold somewhere. I'm holding like the ball mond of my big toe. You decide where you want to hold. You can always hold underneath your calf, or you can have both hands on your leg to hold it. That would work fine. Straighten out your leg as best you can. Straighten it. Breathe. Get both feet to the floor and let's reset the body. Why don't you scoot yourself back? So you're right back into the backrest so that you can feel the backrest supporting you. So you can pop your legs up and your arms up. So we've got this full body extension. Reach up, get your arms to pull back. So the back of your hands are pulling back toward the wall behind you, pushing your feet out. Your heel maybe particularly is stretching forward. And then release. So you know the movement of our shoulders that we have often done, we're going to do that through this. Inhaling like that, exhaling down. Find that nice hearty breath. I bet that Ujjayi breath would be good right now. That's back of the throat, hearty. Sounds like they always say it's the ocean breath. Breathing in and out of the mouth, nose, whatever works. You're aware of it. You're participating in it. Last time, we're going to meet with the feet down and the arms pushing back, and you can feel again the cow pose, the arch of the back body. Let's bring our hands to our lap, round through. We're so far back, we can't do it quite as well as we do usually. But see if you can counter pose, rounding the back body as best you can. Come up to neutral. We're going to scoot ourselves forward and see if you can let the swing of your arms get you out of the chair. Swinging your arms up will get you out of that chair. That's it. Palms are up together overhead. Inhale with me. Exhale, let's bow into our heart in gratitude for that first half of our practice. Good work. Inhaling up, exhaling all the way around. It's like we're filling our room with this positive energy. I'm going to position my chair a little different from what I've often done. So this might look different for you because it is something I've been, kind of working with, is to face, have the chair facing you with the seat of the chair here. That's not new, but using the back of the chair instead of just the seat. So see if you can bring your hands to the back of the chair, and we're going to use that to create that L shape. So you're facing now the seat of the chair, and you stretched your hands over so that you're still using the back of the chair for that support. Now keep working with how well you feel grounded and how much you can straighten out your legs. So you want to feel the security of real strong ankles and feet into the floor. And as you pull your leg muscles back, I say go into the bones of the thigh, that you're aware of the bony structure of your thigh bones. And you want those femur bones to pull back toward the wall behind you. Let's pull the belly in. So the front waistline of the belly is kind of pulling in toward the back waistline. Tuck your head in here. Find the plumb line between your ears, and you notice your arms are part of that plumb line. Deepen the breath. Straighten out the legs. Feel your feet. Feel the stretch where you feel the stretch. So you're bringing your awareness throughout the body, scanning your body with awareness and sensation. You're aware of the sensation. Let's get our hands one at a time to the chair seat. Take your left foot just a little bit forward and your right foot quite a ways back. So you've scissored your legs into what's called the pyramid stretch. So we've got straight legs, looks like a scissors. And remember, both feet have their own track to be on. You're not trying to get on a balance beam. You could have your feet lined up with the legs of the chair. That would not be inappropriate. That would be just fine. So use whatever you need to feel like you feel secure, that your pelvis is nice and stable, your feet are flat, your toes are pointing toward the chair, all 10 of them. And we're going to just fold ourselves down. This is where the chair is such a great help. Keep your chin tucked in towards your throat. The weight of the head is a significant force here. The idea of this pose, or the kind of ultimate goal, if we're looking for such a thing, would be that we fold so deeply that our face comes right down to meet our leg, right down to our knee. It doesn't have to go like that. Anywhere along the way is a beautiful and a productive stretch to find for ourselves. So let that chair be of use to you. I've got my forearms on the chair seat, just so you know. But just feel your way into it. Keep both feet down. Keep that waistline, the front of your waistline, pulling toward the back of your waistline. Now the front foot, it pulls that side. I got my left foot forward. That kind of makes the left side of the pelvis come forward a little bit. See if you can make that correction, like you want to right that so that your pelvis is once again, in its neutral position, so that you can nudge the right side of your pelvis forward to make that correction. Any amount, any little slight amount that you can right that alignment of your pelvis would be great. As we come up and out of that, lift yourself up. Keep your legs in there stretched out, a scissored position. See if you can now come forward. I'm walking my hands forward on the chair so I can float that back leg up. So now I'm doing this one-legged balance. So we're going to really strengthen our bone mass of the leg that's holding us up. Remember, that leg just up off the floor is going to accomplish that. So you don't have to reach for the moon there. You don't have to lift your leg up so high. You could, if you've got that flexibility and you're working on your practice in that way. I wouldn't lift it any higher than the height of the hip, though. Toes should be pointing down on the extended leg. Let's bring both feet together. And I want you to just gently now adjust by doing some squats. So just gently squat down, keep your butt way back so the weight of your body is away from your knees. And if you can't squat in a way that doesn't, it is not felt in your knees, if you can't do it, then don't do it at all, because this should not put any pressure on your knees. So if you can't seem to figure out that, or it's just not your nature with your knees, just wait it out. Do something else. Don't do the squats. Find your breath. Now let's come upright. Just continue to face your chair. Bring yourself upright and find a mountain pose. Palms face forward, pull in the belly, shoulders are back and down. Just keep the eyes wide open, but I shouldn't say wide open, keep your eyes open, but lower your gaze. Maybe you're just looking at the chair in front of you and your eyelids have pretty much come down. Let's use that as our resetting, catching up with the breath. We feel our blood pressure changing a little bit because we were inverted. So we're going to just wait that out. Maybe there's some shoulder rolls or something else your body is calling for. Reset the body is always up to you. It's an inside job. If you're ready, let's get our hands back to the chair and we're going to align it back to switch feet. So we've got right foot forward or your other foot forward and then the other one back, and you're in a scissored position. They each have their own track. This is where you might line your feet up with the legs of the chair. Both legs are straight, all 10 toes pointing toward the chair. Here's where we begin. Folding, maybe you start bringing yourself down toward the chair. And you can always adjust. I found I was a little too close to the chair there, so you got to back up a little bit. So you can always make that adjustment. It's easy to do. Tuck your chin in towards your throat. See if you can get your arms and your ears in alignment. Just remember the neutrality of your head is helpful. It's going to support your neck. Now remember how the pelvis will get itself out of a line if we don't attend to it. So make sure you're just making that subtle adjustment. Maybe it's not so subtle. There's a crease of your front leg, where your leg meets your hips. You could put your thumb into that tendinous tissue there, right there at the crease, and help it. Help that pull back a little bit so you can adjust your pelvis so that it's level and neutral. You'd like your hips to be neutral side by side. The sides, of the pelvis should be neutral, even though we've taken that step forward. That takes some doing, though. It takes some adjusting. Let's deepen the breath. Manage the weight of your head. One more full breath cycle. Let's exhale completely. Start to come up. This is where we're going to get a leg up in the air. So we're coming forward, and we can get the back leg up. Hold on to the chair to support you. Keep your eyes on the chair seat. Find a neutrality of your head. The back of your head should be in line with the spine, so it's not hanging. You got to prop it up. Back of the head is in line with the spine. So we're doing that one-legged balance, really straight, strengthening the bone mass of that standing leg. The extended foot is toes points down, keeps your hips level. One more full breath, in and out. And let's get both feet to the floor. Squat or something different if the squat does not work for your knees. I have always found if I can pull my body weight way back, away from the knees, my knees have ease of movement and I'm not putting undue stress on them. But if you're not accessing that, don't do it. Squatting, so strengthening now our quadriceps, our thighs. Good. Let's get hands to the waist if you can and come up. Just balance your way up. And again, we're striking our mountain pose. Any adjustments you need to reset the body. And maybe you need to walk away from the chair, move yourself. Big movements might be very useful here. Reset the body any way your body is asking for that. Move the chair so that we've got it available to our side. I don't know why that block had to be moved, but I'm fussy. So we've got our standing leg near the chair. Let's get some leg swings going. We're just going to swing the leg forward and back. Keep your body upright, crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling. See if you can find the neutrality of your head by just, again, finding the plumb line of your ears. So there's very little movement in the head and neck. We're trying to isolate the movement. This is flex and extension. The flex is the forward movement. The extension is pulling back. Flex and extension through your hip. Find your breath now. Let it be as noisy as it needs to be. We're going to lift that high knee up. Rotate it out. Keep it up there like you're stepping on a very high stool. You can hold on to it in some way. I've kind of got a hold of my inner thigh. You can always touch the chair, or you could try your balance without touching the chair, your choice. Find a drishti. Keep your eyes focused. And find the fullness of your breath in and out. Back to the words, in and out. Let's rotate that leg back in, both feet to the floor. We're going to shake those, kick them, shake and kick. Turn around so you can use the chair to support the other direction. Time for a little break here. So it's leg swings, flex and extension. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. You're finding the plumb line between your ears. Again, this movement is at your pace. Your own pace, what's comfortable for you. Flexion is the reach forward, and the extension is the pulling back, just so you know. And it's a swing. It's just intended to be very fluid. Let's bring that high knee up. Think mountain now. And rotate out. Again, holding onto that leg. You can hold on to the chair because you're continuing to do some good work for the strengthening of your standing leg, or you could find balance with that. Deepen the breath. Let's rotate that leg back in, both feet to the floor. Let's shake that out. Take a wide stance now. Take a wide stance. And I want you to just rotate around. I just kind of interlace my hands. Just rotate around. Hands on the thighs, just bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Just resetting, and then we're going to glide our hand down. Or if we had a seam on the pants like we used to, let that glide down for a side bend. My feet are parallel. That's not absolutely necessary. If you're finding a little bit of a different position for your feet, as long as your knees feel supported, you're going to be fine. Come all the way up. Use the strength of that arm, that top arm. We'll switch, glide down right past your ear with your top arm. Feel gravity's pull. See if you can be so sensitive to the inner workings of this that you can literally feel the surrender of your weight to gravity's pull. All the way up. Let that top arm lift you up. And come up, let's find that T, palms face up. Stretch your hands open, thumbs are pointing behind you. We're in the wide angle with our legs. Let's create the cactus-like position. Pull back, open, and close. Let's open and close. So we're back into the arms and into the back. And let's come all the way down. See if you can bring your feet together, just systematically, step, step, step. My yoga mats keep me from, I stick, but sometimes you can do the heel in, toe out, that kind of thing, kind of a little dance to do it, and that's kind of fun. All right, time for Shavasana. So let's bring ourselves to the chair. If the block is helpful for you to relax with, be sure to grab it. I don't use it for Shavasana, but some people I suppose do. Scoot yourself back into the chair so you can have easy access to the back. Lean back into that. Let's catch up with our breathing. You know, the daily practice, if you notice the words that what I read today, some of it circles us back around to the fact that it starts with us, you know, that we are practicing not only a strong, healthy body, but also, you know, how it helps our behavior and how our relationships to others will also benefit because of this compassionate understanding of our own workings, our own inner workings, our own inner experience. So it always starts within. We start, and that was true of last week's practice when we did the loving kindness or metta. Do you remember that? How it always starts, every tradition all over the world when it's being done starts with a blessing for self. So we settle into that now in our Shavasana time, where we're coming into this quieting for you. This is for you. And it's right that it is for you. So find the compassion now to be directed within. It's a heart-centered practice. We come out of the mind, the thinking mind, which is certainly a benefit to us in many, many ways, but we also need to utilize the power of that heart energy to cultivate compassion, forgiveness, kindness, support, willingness, appreciation, positive regard. These are practices too. Feel the support of the chair. Let your shoulders and arms relax because your upper body is supported by the chair. Hips, buttocks, into the legs, relaxing all the way through the length of your legs into the feet because you have the support of the chair. And the chair has the support of the earth. So we're connected. We're connected. Remember, sometimes your hand position makes a difference. So if you found that to be true, maybe you put a hand in the low belly, a hand at the heart space. Maybe you like your hands in a different way, just folded. Somehow the hands can make a difference. So I want you to explore ways that that would feel more loving, more tender to you, to choose a way to hold your hands. Palms up has been our mudra of receptivity. It's a beautiful way to land if that feels right to you. Whatever feels good, tender, loving for you. If you haven't closed your eyes, be sure to do that now. You'll want to be closed down so you're in that inner view, interior awareness. And just see if you can bring your awareness to the space within your body. You're not trying to identify a bone or a muscle or anything that concrete, that instead you're just bringing yourself into the awareness within your body, the spaciousness there. And it might be just a glimpse. So if you can be aware of that moment by moment, second by second, as even a glimpse, it's a beautiful thing. I want you to welcome that possibility that you could be aware of your interior world as spaciousness. Feel the softness about your tongue and jaw and how that translates into the relaxation of your facial muscles. Now listen for your breath. We've been using the words in and out to keep our focus on our breath. Let's welcome another word and a couple other words. That's deep and slow. Let's inhale deep and exhale slow. I'm just going to reiterate some of Cyndi Lee's commentary. Yoga is never finished. It is always about the process, not the product. Each day is a fresh start. Yoga teaches us how to pay attention to our changing experiences with curiosity rather than judgment or expectation. This approach generates feelings of warmth and appreciation and a sense that life is manageable. We do our yoga practice every day because every day is different. What we felt yesterday will have shifted today. And when we learn to pay attention, we will discover these physical shifts, openings, discomforts, releases. We will also begin to recognize our emotional and mental patterns, our habits, our cravings, our fears, and to watch how they change in the same way that we watch our tight hips begin to release or our weak abdominals grow strong. Let your daily practice be a time to sit with yourself, to let go of your agenda, to make your own acquaintance. You will find that over time, your practice will not only give you a stronger body, deeper breathing, and a more stabilized and spacious mind, but it will also awaken your senses and open your heart. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it out of the mouth with a sigh. Begin to introduce movement into your body, hands or feet, breathing those deep cleansing breaths. And come forward on your chair so you can find your feet to the earth again. You can feel the right alignment of your spine. Feeling that the crown of the head is connected straight on down the body to the tailbone at the base of the spine. Now, using that plumb line through the ears, just simply turning your head to turn and feel the spaciousness that you've created in your neck and shoulders. Be mindful of the way you turn your head, using your ears and that plumb line, that imaginary plumb line, to discover, like I said, spaciousness in your neck and shoulders. A couple turns to each side, one and then the other. It's delicious, isn't it? It's just delicious to have that freedom of movement. Let us sync up our breath now. Join me as we inhale up, palms are together overhead. Exhale, bow into your own heart. Inhale back up and exhale. Let's share this peaceful, beautiful energy with our communities all the way around. Palms will come together in the prayer position. We bow to ourselves and we also bow to one another. Thank you for joining me. Namaste, my friends.
Namaste.